Errol Spence talks about fighting Manny Pacquiao, also says Terence Crawford, he's a very good fighter, great fighter, but he hasn't fought the same level of opposition that he has. We're going to talk about all that and more. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Cash App, $ boxing ego. Appreciate you guys for the support. Before I get started, ESPN Plus, use my link in the description. They have a ton of original content, docuseries, documentaries, archive footage of past fights, and more for your viewing needs and pleasure. It's $5.99 a month for ESPN Plus as a standalone app, or you can get the bundle ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All three apps, one low price of $12.99 a month by clicking the link in the description. Errol Spence, he looked great versus Danny Garcia. Dominant performance, in my opinion. He made Danny Garcia look pretty much in a way we haven't really seen anyone make Danny Garcia look. Highly impressive coming off of everything he's been through with the accident. Now, he was on the PBC podcast. He's also jogging. He talked about that on the PBC podcast. He posted a quick snippet video, staying in shape. I think he said he's going to be in the gym about 3 times out of the week, and he's right back to it. You know, there wasn't too much wear and tear in the fight. Danny Garcia tried, but, you know, all in all, he came up way short. I only gave Danny Garcia 2 rounds. So Errol Spence seems to be the man. I did a video about it. The numbers came back. Numbers came back very positive for a pandemic and everything considered. They said over 250,000 buys to about 300,000 buys, anywhere in that neighborhood. 16,102 people attended it live. Over $19 million generated from the live gate. The kid Errol Spence is a star, absolutely a star. Now on the PBC podcast, he was asked about fighting Manny Pacquiao. There's rumors that Pacquiao is interested in fighting him. He said he don't know if that's next. I will play the clip. And he said he's down for it. Pacquiao's a legend, Hall of Famer. It's 2 southpaws. I would love to see the fight. Another person who wants to fight Pacquiao, Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford's team, they've claimed that, you know, they're in the runnings to fight Pacquiao, but we haven't really seen a shred of evidence or proof to suggest that this is true. They talk about Crawford and Pacquiao in Qatar and said that it was this close and the money was there, but you know, we haven't really seen anything to indicate that this is true. Definitely from Pacquiao's camp. However, Pacquiao's camp reached out to Yahoo Sports and left a quote that they did watch Errol Spence fight and he looked good and they're interested in possibly facing him in 2021. So I don't know what that means for Terence Bud Crawford. Now, Errol Spence did talk about Terence Crawford. They were asking if he was tired of hearing about it. And he says, I don't really get tired of hearing it. It comes with the territory because we're 2 great welterweight fighters. The only time it's annoying is right before my fight, which is what I told you guys. A lot of media, they ask, it's like they run out of questions. So they ask the same thing over and over. And he's like, I don't want to be dismissive or disrespect Danny Garcia by talking about the next person like Terence Crawford. He said, if I'm not like in training camp or doing a media day, a press conference for a fight, he said he doesn't really mind it as much, which is understandable from, you know, if you were the fighter, you wouldn't want to keep hearing about a person you're not fighting in the next couple of days. He also said Terence Crawford is a great fighter, but Terence Crawford just doesn't have the same type of resume. He says he felt and feels he has fought the better competition, and he has the better resume names, which I totally agree to. Crawford is a terrific fighter, but Errol, I like the way you phrased it. He said that Terence Crawford passes the eye test. And I think that's what a lot of people are giving Crawford really credit for, is the eye test. He's blowing out competition. He's skilled, but I'm not saying it's easy to just blow out any opponent, but if you're a great fighter, it's easier to do that given the level of competition. Guys like Kell Brook, who haven't fought in that division for some odd years, had eye injuries. People didn't know if he could take a punch after the Errol Spence and Golovkin fights, things of that sort. Jeff Horn, unproven, really thought he should have lost to Pacquiao, etc. So I agree. I do feel the walls are closing in on Terence Crawford and his claims to be the A-side welterweight. There's a difference, and you guys have to understand there's a difference between being a skilled welterweight and a great fighter and maybe having the ability to beat a person versus being the A-side, because none of that A-side business is contingent on who wins the fight or who's the most skilled. You know, A-side is really a popularity contest, accolades, numbers sold, statistics, you know, how well you pack a venue, pay-per-view sales, money made, you know, just popularity contest stuff. And we know who the winner is in that regard as Errol Spence, especially with having more belts. He got 2 belts, as you guys see from this picture, the WBC and the IBF belt. He fought stringent competition, Kell Brook in his backyard, to get the IBF, and a very game, Sean Porter. I went to that fight for the WBC and the unification, and Sean Porter has a credible resume, and he was coming off the Ugos win, very tough fight. So very experienced Sean Porter to get that second strap. So Errol Spence, he's literally the man in the division, and you know, he's widening the gap between Terence Crawford in terms of resumes and bodies, but also these different accolades and milestones that separate him as the better promoted and A-side fighter. Let me know what you guys think. Take a listen to what Errol Spence had to say specifically. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. 10X Video is Ego. Signing off.
I'm on it.
I mean, how difficult is it to maintain that discipline? I mean, to do it year round, like every day pretty much, it's got to be a difficult thing. Is it just like that's your lifestyle now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you do things over and over and over, like repetition, it's just something that you just do. I feel like it's a lot harder when you're not going and then you gotta go and then you go. You haven't been doing it, but if you're doing something over and over and over, you just make it, natural, and you just do it. So, it's just something I just gotta, turn natural. And plus, it's my job. I get paid great to do it, so, I might as well just do it because, I mean, I don't have nothing else to do, really, so.
ride your horses, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, so, might as well go to the gym for at least an hour. It's only an hour and a half out the day, so nothing.
I know it's still pretty early, but looking ahead to your next fight, in your opinion, how likely is a Manny Pacquiao bout?
I don't know. I really don't know. At this time, I'm not. It's a fight I would love to have. So, he's a future. But to me, he's a Hall of Famer right now. So he's a Hall of Famer and things like that. But I don't know. It's really up to Pacquiao. Myself, I'm not gonna stress over it. Like I said, I'm just gonna enjoy my time off and then keep working. And when it's time to get back in there, then I'll be ahead of schedule.
Now, we know Terence Crawford was ringside at your fight. Do you ever get tired of being asked about him?
I just get tired of people asking me about him when I got a fight coming up. Like
Yeah.
people asking about Terence Crawford when there's like 2 days till I fight Danny Garcia. I'm like, yo, you ask me about Duke, and I feel, I just be like, yeah, I feel like you've been dismissive of, Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
Ask me about this guy when I'm fighting this guy, but I, when I don't have a fight coming up, I don't get tired of it. I mean,
Hmm.
it is what it is. It comes with the territory. I mean, when you got both one of the best welterweights, same weight class, you're gonna get those questions.
Now, some would argue that he hasn't fought the same level of opposition you have, yet many consider him equal to you. Would you agree with that? Is that something that bothers you, or what's your take?
It don't bother me. The guy can fight, but as opponent wise, I mean, I feel like he hasn't faced the opponents that I face. But I mean, I guess if you're going by eyeball test, he passed the eyeball test. But I mean, as far as an accomplishments, he's done that. But as far as opponents, I feel like I'm over him in that category.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.